So we learned a lot of professionalism from our common professor, Professor Trivikraman.
Yeah, that's true.
He was one of the best with good knowledge and heritage. I remember one day we have that coffee house where the buses used to park.
Yeah.
So he was waiting for the bus, and then I was also standing beside him because just seeing him was a pleasure. Reaching him closer was much more pleasure.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of fun. I was standing there, and then he asked, "Where are you going?" I said, "Nowhere, I am just standing here. That's it. I want to stand beside you." So in a bus stop, if somebody stands, definitely they will ask that. Then he got into the bus, I also got into the bus.
Yeah.
And then he was asking me, "Where are you going?" I said, "I don't know where am I going. I just want to sit beside you." When conductor came, I asked, "Let him take the ticket, then I will take the ticket." So he took his ticket, I also took the ticket, the same stop. So again he asked me, "Where are you going?" I said, "Nowhere." So he got down, I also got down. I was walking behind him, and I went to his house and sat there for some time. I forced many people to be close to me. And I'm sure no student would have taken that courage to go behind a professor to see where is he staying.
Sir, I have the good fortune of staying with him in his house, and he also stayed in my house a couple of times.
Wonderful, wonderful. Even last 2 months back, we were talking on telephone. So we keep in contact. So he was one of the great professor. I'll tell you, the professionalism comes from great people, and then how much you follow them. We had another great professor, Professor Krishnamurthy.
Yeah, right.
I remember when Indian Mathematical Association conference was held. When I was a student, he was given food in charge. He was one of the
Yeah.
greatest professors of statistics.
Yeah. Professor Abdi was the convener.
Abdi was the convener. And you will see lot of people are being served food by hand by the professor himself.
Right.
I don't know how many people have that humility of doing it. So there are a lot of people who walked in front of us where we catch little bit of learning from them. And how much
Sir, Sir, pardon me.
Yeah.
In which subject you did your PhD, sir?
My PhD is in fluid mechanics.
Fluid mechanics. Under who?
I was with the Professor Rudraya in Bangalore under DST, Special Assistance Scheme.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I turned into fluid mechanics, then joined Department of Space. I turned into optics man. I was full of optics and image processing. Then it's almost like a transition from different
Yeah.
field to different field. I was head of photo lab, so I was into chemistry, chemical processing, making the image better. Then computer science, computer vision, artificial intelligence, understanding.
You may be knowing Ambari sir also, right?
Yeah, I was there in photonics department in physics for giving many lectures because
Yeah.
we look at images where the bubbles will move faster in the photonics. So I had images pictured that to understand how the photonics happens. So we had a lot of collaboration with different people. I was there in environment science department in Cochin University. The first multimedia lecture in Cochin University was given by me. That's the time when I wrote my book. Yeah, good. So it was great memory by.
Yeah, nice hearing, listening to you, sir. Nice seeing you.
Yeah.
As an old student, an ardent student of Trivikraman,
Yes.
because we are all in one family.
Thank you, Sunny Kuriakos, for that gesture of coming and then talking about what yesterday happened, and it was a very, very brief, good description. Just before this session, I got one message from Sojan Sar, who just mentioned about a message which Mr. P.R. Iyer had sent to him about the comments on yesterday's lecture. Sometime you remember what happened today. When you remember what happened yesterday, that means it has got at least 24 hours life. I always believe that that is where my lifeline is, those sort of messages. So I'm glad that few people had sent messages, few people had appreciated it. Generally we say in North India, when a singer sings, there will be wah wah. But in South India, when somebody sings, there will be rumors saying that, yeah, there is some mistake in him. He is not doing very good. So very hardly we know how to appreciate. My guru keeps saying the geography of India is like the way people are happy. When you go to east and west, they enjoy. So Gujarat, if you ask somebody, they will say maje mein che. So I am happy. I was there in Ahmedabad for almost 8 months in my beginning of my career. My roommate was from Bangla when I was doing my PhD. So 3 years. Bangla was very close to me. Bangla people will say Balu Ache, yeah, Balu Ache. Very happy. You ask the same thing to Kerala, they will say, yeah, ingene ponu. Tamil, they will say, ippadiye pogaradu. Kannada, they will say, hige hogta ide. Telugu, they will say, jaragatta ide. But I am sure there are plenty of reasons for us to be happy. What is life is being happy. What is life is sharing that happiness. So otherwise, that's why I keep saying yesterday, live in full enjoyment. Learn in full enjoyment. If you don't enjoy learning, you will not be able to do it wisely, nicely. I am from a Himalayan tradition of meditation. My guru is Swami Rama. If you have not read the book of Swami Rama's Living with the Himalayan Masters, that's a beautiful, wonderful book. In one sitting, people will read it because it describes practical spirituality.
The recording has stopped.
Many people don't understand what is spirituality. But if you really want to understand what is spirituality, that is one of the book. Swami Rama keeps saying that is his visiting card. Everything about him is there. Probably only one saint in India. When they become Shankaracharya, it is like becoming Pope. The position of Shankaracharya was given up, and then he said, I don't want to administrative religious practices. I want to be a silent man. And he taught only silence. Our Himalayan tradition talks about silence, but silence is not closing your eyes and sitting in the cave. Be active in the world and enjoy what you do. I enjoy exam hall because that's the best place where you are treated like a king. I enjoy reading and learning because that's where my Uttar Pradesh gets satisfied. I enjoy patting and then getting pat because my shoulder has to be up. I enjoy cooking and eating because my Madhya Pradesh has to be strong. I enjoy wandering around because I am from Kerala. I am basically a Shudra. Instantaneous happiness is what we like. So I am sure we are embodiment of all this. There can be wrong, but there can be rights. But there can be wrong which are proved to be rights tomorrow. But what is today for us, which is acceptable, common, which is accepted by many, is what is to be seen. So I'm sure when there are a lot of options, is there Jemmy Matthew around? I can't miss. There was one message from Jemmy Matthew. Jemmy, is there around? I like to see the faces. Otherwise, yeah, Jemmy, you have to unmute, beta. Jemmy was the one who was hunting for my books. And all my books are there on internet PDF. You can download it. If you don't get it, you could just come back to me, because life, rhythm of life, it's there in the blog. There are 64 blogs. Somebody has to unmute Jimmy. Allow her tongue to move. Becomes audible. No, otherwise, Jimmy, give me one number from page number. You can put on chat box also fine. Maybe from yesterday I read from this book only one small portion, which was on 15th page, 1.5. What you do is, when you get the book, think of a number and then open the book. I'll tell you, your problem of the day will be solved. So today, just now I opened for you, though I did not get a number from you. This says when you should get angry, when you should not get angry. Okay, control your anger is that. This is a book which I wrote with discussions between me and my students on Orkut, when Orkut was live. So it's a philosophical discussion from Orkut. So what happens is, I post some philosophy every day, my message, and then somebody reacts to that. Probably only one person in the world who wrote a book on discussions on social media. That too on an Orkut time, nearly 20 years back I started writing this. So most of the problems, when Jimmy was hunting that, and she searched that book to buy in Amazon. Yeah, most of my books are not for sale. It's only for distribution. And that's why I kept all my books on PDF on my website. You could download it. And if you don't get it, what you should do is put the title and search. I'm sure you will find a lot of places. I'll tell you, I was introduced to Bhagavad Gita by a great man, and that is Mahatma Gandhi. I was not a religious man who reads any religious books. But Mahatma Gandhi wrote a book. That book is called Gandhi, My Mother. For Mahatma Gandhi, Bhagavad Gita was like a mother. Whenever we had confusion, whenever we become upset, whenever your child become upset, he or she, that small kid, baby, or even if you have grown up to age of 40 also, I went back to my mother's lap and then sleep every day on her lap. And she keeps her hand on my head and say, tomorrow you will become a good boy. That was a great blessing. I told you yesterday that I was not a good boy. I was a failure in my schools. But only because of that blessing, I became something in my life. I remember going back to the same school and giving lecture to my teachers who taught me how to become a good teacher. But they did not remember me, that I was an old student of that. By mistake, they invited me there. So I'll tell you, when somebody says, today you are not good, it's a negative sentence. My mother told me, tomorrow you will become good. That implies, today you are not good. So sometimes a positive stroke can be given with a positive sentence than a negative sentence. So tomorrow you will become good is a good blessing. That's what a mentor's job. Mentors are not to give negative strokes. They have to give positive strokes. But you should know what to ask. I'm sorry, Jimmy, when you asked me that book I did not get. That was your message. I don't remember what book I refer, because I am in a meditative stage when I give lectures. Only thing, I will have to go back to that video to understand what I spoke. It just flows. So that's why I asked you back which book I asked you to refer. I may not remember. So what I do is, soon after this lecture, I again go through that video once again, because I edit it. I edit myself. And I mix. There are two cameras kept, one here and one here. And both camera I will see which one is good with the light conditions and which has captured the audio perfect, where my face looks better, and I mix them together with the audience picture which I captured on the. What I'm saying now is, I'm a speaker. My job is what I'm doing now. Giving lectures, talking is my job. But when I just do it, it doesn't become professional. But when I keep two cameras and capture it with an audio system, add it extra with a screen grab, put them together, put it onto YouTube, I'm being professional. So what is professionalism? Is polishing it in the best way. What is professional way of sending a message? Yeah. When you mention that book, mention which book is that. Don't presume the listener understands everything. The listener need not be. See, most of the time that is what happens, a break in communication. I get nearly average these days 100 messages. And I answer all of them because I told you a shortcut is made. And it's very easy for me to send. Today morning itself I got few messages were only HI, hi. How do I know who is this person who is saying hi? So immediately I will send. I don't have your number stored. And that's only a code which I have created in my phone which says A5. A4 says I by mistake deleted yours. See, again this person gave a missed call. Even if you gave a missed call, I will store that number with today's date. That's a missed call on this date. And then immediately I will see whether he is on WhatsApp. That is what I did when the welcome speech was being given. So what happens in this world is we must learn how to communicate, how to become. Yesterday I was telling, communication is not English. Communication is how do you get connected and how do you make your connections clear. I was so happy. There were few questions. For example, Haima Prasad, is she there around today? Haima Prasad asked me, what is that formula which I said P is equal to? P is equal to attitude A plus skill plus opportunity. Attitude is what is basically you are into. That shows your basic character. Skill is what you gain. Opportunity is what environment provides you. I can perform well. Assume that I am a wonderful teacher. But then the institution in which I am working has got too much of restrictions where I cannot show my creativity. What do? There is a stress. So sometimes you have attitude and you don't have the opportunity supporting you, you get distrust. Stress is good, which makes you active in life. Distress is what makes you not able to act. Distress is equal to tension. These are all very beautiful words in psychology. Many people don't understand and they say it's stress management. When somebody gives a title stress management, you understand that person don't know anything about psychology. Stress management should not be given. Stress is to be attained as maximum as you can. If somebody has stress, that means they are performing better. That is a development stage. You are entering into your own productivity and creating it as maximum as you can. That's what it means. But when you say your stress is into the when you cannot make it higher and higher, it get into the last curve and it falls down. That becomes distress. Distress is tension. I have to run to catch my train if I am slightly late. And that running is because you are stressed inside. If you don't take that stress, you don't even run. If you don't run, you miss the train. But then your stress is too much and you collapse down the road. You are also a failure, you lost the train also. Okay, there is always another philosophy from Dr. TPS. When you miss a bus, you get lot of other buses. When you get into a bus, you miss lot of buses. So better sometime to miss the bus. If somebody don't get a job, yeah, it's wonderful. I was director of academic staff college in Calicut University. The last day when with the court verdict I was thrown out of They tried to say that Dr. TPS is not qualified, but that case was denied by the court. Then they said the interview committee was not qualified. So the verdict says that Dr. TPS has to be out. But then the judge himself was sending, those days there was no WhatsApp, but we had text messages possible. The judge was texting me because we were very close friends. What should I write in the verdict? Do you want to continue here so that I can write accordingly? That close were we. I said no, let me get out of this place. Just because I left that place, I got an opportunity to work with the Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. When I was out from this place, I got a better job. I'll tell you, if your environment is not good, better to leave that place and look for a better place. Don't push the wall to open. It will never open. You should only wasting your energy by doing it. You should only knock at the door. That is professionalism. Don't waste your time for mentoring somebody who don't even listen to you. When I am talking something, all that what I speak you can relate to what our topic is. It's a very generic lecture. It is applicable in life. It's also applicable in many places. Therefore, what is exactly to be done in life? A communication is good only when, I told you yesterday, if I feel that whatever message I am giving is being accepted by some of you, that means the end of the day I can say, oh, well done. Assume that I am speaking in a language which you don't understand. In Malayalam it is called Mlecha. In Sanskritam also it's called Mlecha. Mlecha means the other person don't understand my language. That's all it means. It doesn't mean I am not good or you are not good. If I speak in a language which you don't understand, it only means our communication is not in harmony. Why is it in non-harmony? Because you don't understand my dialogue. It can happen in most of the mentoring sessions because your state is entirely different from the state of the student. I'll tell you, there are cases when somebody says, yeah, you are grown up and still you don't know mathematics, as if the physical growth is directly proportional to the knowledge in mathematics or what. See, how much biologically you have grown, that doesn't mean you have the potential to understand some subjects. That is because mathematics is like communication. If you don't understand the grammar, you make mistakes in languages. The meaning will become entirely different. Grammar in language is equal to logic in mathematics. Suppose, what is communication? Somebody speaks about one man is standing on the rail, a train is passing, the first compartment passed at so and so time, the last compartment was passing at so and so time. What is the length of the train? This is actually a mathematical problem, but it's a sentence in English. How do you convert the sentence in English logically into equation is the language of mathematics. I was teaching in KL University, law students, MBA students, many other humanities students, the logical reasoning, analytical skill, etc., etc. They're all basic mathematics. That is the bridge. We were doing a program called the bridge to reach into professionalism in an MNC company. Why this MNC company needs this bridge of analytical skill, logical reasoning? That is because when I tell you once you are not able to catch, that is what is being tested in the competitive exams. For understanding that question and answering, the time given is only 1 minute. Will you be able to read 3 times? When you read 3 times, already 3 minutes are over. So, how fast you can understand things? That is why yesterday I was talking to teachers. When you ask questions, easily we can understand this is a teacher. Because they repeat the question, they reframe it in a different style. Because that is what the regular practice. So actually, you are not coming to the point by repeating it. Actually, you are diluting the attention of the listener. Therefore, when you go to an MNC company, no boss is going to tell the same thing to you 3 times. So what is that being tested in the process of selection? How fast you pick up points. And another one. Assume that you have a big files to be written. I worked in the Cabinet Secretariat. Cabinet Secretariat is the administrative top in the government, in Government of India. So I get a bunch of files which may be 100 kilograms. The attender will bring and keep it there. And my job is to look into all that file. It takes 3 months to understand everything in that. But we have the technique of reading here and there and understand everything. I will make one line note which will be sent to Prime Minister for his signature. Because I don't want Prime Minister to spend full time reading this, because he will be only doing that in his life and no time. So therefore, what is our job? Our job is to create a brief note. I am sure in every class in English we have got what is called précis writing. We have got what is comprehension. We have got a paragraph given, answer these questions. These are all for you to equip understanding a big book, how you can make it into a small short note. When I give 1 hour, 2 hours lecture, how good you are in capturing few points, and then that ability is called taking notes and making notes. You have to take note and make note. So what is a good student? Taking note and making note. So when you are mentoring, the student's ability to take note and make note is what is to be understood. If that student has that ability, you don't have to give a lecture, you don't have to repeat it only once. Finish. What happens in the house? Yesterday I also gave a touch for professionalism. You keep on scolding your children. That's why I told you, ask the child to make a chart and then hang it here and there. Mama, I know, I understood what you want to tell. Don't repeat it again. Because most of the time we speak unnecessary. I'll tell you, when you travel to West, you will see young children don't cry as they are crying in India. They don't cry at all. I was wondering why they don't cry. Because we over pamper our children. Why we over pamper our children? That is because we don't have any other job. We are so lazy in the world to pick up a bigger projects. If you pick up bigger projects, you don't have time for smaller items in your life. Understood? Do you think Prime Minister of India has problem of jet lags? When somebody travels 3 hours from Gulf to India, they say jet lag, I have to take rest for 3 days. Imagine when there was no corona, Modi used to travel from east to west to right to west. Keep on traveling. If you have, and the same day, as soon as land in Delhi, take the aircraft, go to Rameshwaram, attend a meeting there, go to Jammu Kashmir. How do they get this energy? See, every one of us are filled with same energy. It is not that he eats 100 idlis and we are eating only 10 idlis. No. I'll tell you, it's a character which you maintain yourself. Being active is what is inside you. The stress, the pressure for being active. When I want to meet Chandrababu Naidu, he gave me an appointment at 2:30 midnight, 2:30 a.m. Either he must be sleeping after that or he is waking up before that. So imagine if somebody can do that. And we are also coming from same factory. We are not produced from a different factory. So how do you create this attitude is what is essential. So that attitude comes from looking at somebody like that. So a mentor has to be a role model. He has to be a professional. He understands everything. I took this example from Haima Prasad asked me a question, but I spared my number. Immediately Haima should contact me and say, yeah, this is what the doubt I had. But that was not done. That means you are not following up. You want to ask something and leave it there. If I get a question, no, don't ever do that. Once you venture, you have a question, stick on to that until you get an answer. Perseverance. By birth, all of us had that perseverance. By birth, all children, when we meet a children, I will give my beautiful looking, maybe mobile phone on the ground, the child will scroll and come there and we pull it. The child will again come behind, again we pull it. It's a beautiful way of playing with children. But I will tell you, no child ever has left that perseverance of capturing it. But what the elders will do, they will take after some time and put it into pocket, and the child will start crying because helpless child. But immediately after that you put some other item there, the attention is gone from this to that. That is what is called the presence of mind, living in present and good presence of mind. That is what we must teach every children. Assume that people are so moody and they keep saying, yeah, I am not able to attend the class because today my father scolded me, or my girlfriend did not give a face to me. Any reason is good enough. See, then the professor has to give a double dose of real scolding. Then the problem goes, because the father's problem is gone, girlfriend's problem is gone, but immediately the problem comes, my professor scolded me, so I am not able to attend. Until the next professor comes and gives another scolding, and this happened, what in the class will continue. We were not like that. As young children, if somebody has not given me the mobile phone, immediately you get a colorful ball, that is good enough. We don't stick. That is what in Bhagavad Gita is being taught, bondage. We get binded to something and then we are lost. This August 1st onwards, I am teaching Bhagavad Gita like this, a total psychological approach, because I was a student of Nitya Chaitanya Yati. He is from Patanandita, who was a school dropout, but he became psychology professor in 26 universities in West. It's not your qualification. It is how much knowledge you grasp, which makes you the credibility. And he keeps saying, one day during the satsang, one boy came and told, so I am so upset, I feel like committing suicide. I lost my girlfriend. Immediately, Yati asked him, are you so desperate in your life, you don't get, or you are so useless that you don't get any other girlfriend in your life, or what? See, that is a message from Bhagavad Gita. You should not get binded. It is not detached, you are attached. I am attached to this class. But when the power failed, when there is a disconnection, I am not stressed, I am not distressed, I am working. Yeah, if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, we have great professors here. P.R. Iyer sir is there, maybe Soli is there, maybe somebody else is there. They will take up this session forward, right? So why should I worry? So you should have that ability to say nothing is going to happen. I am not indispensable in this world. You understand? If I am not there also, the world will run. Some great poet of Kerala once told, I stopped writing poetry to see whether something will happen in Kerala or not. Nothing happens, that fellow doesn't write poetry, what is going to happen? So you know your relevance is nothing. So if you write poetry also, it doesn't make any difference. We had a great leader like Indira Gandhi. When she left, people thought everything is gone. No, nothing. Then Rajiv Gandhi came, he was a banana Gandhi, oh ye hum banayenge, oh do banayenge, ye banane ke liye koshish karenge, therefore he was called Banana Gandhi, but then nothing has happened. He also left. Understood? So don't get disheartened by short-term problems. Maybe somebody doesn't capture what you said today, probably the echo of that will go back to him after some time. When my guru left, Brahmashri KPC Anijan Bhattacharya, when he lived, I lived with him. We traveled together, we went to Himalayas together, we were staying in same tent, I was carrying his luggage, when he had leg pain, I was taking care of him. But then still I feel, oh, I should have done much better. But that pain should not make you to stop. My idea is to send that message to the next generation. If I don't do that, that's a big crime. See, morning I was so happy when Professor Sunny was mentioning, immediately I captured, oh, this is the same Sunny, mathematics, my professor's student. That connection makes me to feel, yeah, that's great. I remember when I went to Dubai for a large audience, 1,200 children, along with their parents, almost 3,000 audience. In Millennium School was gathering for 3 days workshop. Then some student asked me, who is your role model? I said, at your age, my role model was my science teacher, Ananthan Master. He used to make a lot of experiments. In the tea time, one small girl came and told, I am Ananthan Master's granddaughter. I was so happy. If I don't mention, not more than me, that girl should have been so happy, right? Somebody in a large 3,000 audience is mentioning that my grandfather is the best teacher for the speaker. And soon after that, I picked her up and then put on to stage. Communication. That is communication. You should have the courage. You should have the freedom. You should take that opportunity to reach somebody else. Taking that opportunity. You have opportunity. That is what we are talking. Performance depends on opportunity. But there are people who have opportunity. They don't use that opportunity because they will say, yeah, go, let me check. After some time we will do it. After these 3 days, probably you don't even remember me. But I am sure I will remember each one of you. Because I am looking at video by video if you show your face. If you don't show your face, I am not going to remember you. If you show your face, definitely I will remember each one of you and say Lakshmi was wearing a dress which is panda dress. Panda is black and white. Though it is blue, I am seeing it as black in the first instance, right? So now people started showing the face, you see. That's what it is. So you have to have that intimacy. I'll tell you, if you don't see the face, no intimacy. Maybe you see me, that intimacy will come to you. But I will not capture it. So still when you send a message, I'll ask you, who are you? Because it's hard to remember people. But I'm sure if you ask few questions, I will remember you. I will remember until my brain works. It's working perfectly until now. So I have got students who come back to me after 8 years. I will tell them what dress they wore, on which day I met, including the date I keep mentioning. That's because I have nothing else in my life. This is what my life is. Because I am being attached to what I am doing. I am not binded to what I am doing. Understood what I am saying? I am not binded. If you show your face, it's good for me and you. If you don't show your face, okay. It's up to you. I met Sharika when she came and met me. But then, yeah, I asked her to chant some slokas in Bhagavad Gita to post. It continued. Okay, that's a trigger. How do I know whether she enjoyed it, whether I am enjoying it or not? It shows how much you open yourself to be in communication. So the spark is there. Whether it becomes a fire or not depends on the opportunity, the attitude, plus the skill in which you are. The skill is not there, definitely you will not be able to continue. So skill of a mentor and a mentee need to be understood mutually. How do you get it? I ask a question to my guru and he is giving a low level answer which is not acceptable to me. Oh, I heard much better answers in my life. It's not that when you ask question you don't know the answers. You know the answer, but you want to reach at a little higher level. That is why you are asking questions. So if you are not able to give that little higher answer, then you will say, oh, he knows less than me. Why should I go to him? So actually you are testing your guru. That's also done sometime. I always keep a recorder when I speak to my guru because I record it because I can re-listen to that. I remember when we were in Kailash, I asked a question. How did Shankaracharya went to Kailash? Today we could fly, we could take a Land Cruiser and then walk. And there are people who carry our luggage. Shankaracharya just like that went there from Kerala. And he was, that time climate was very bad. I am sure he had very difficult weather conditions. Today we have down jacket, we can have cover everything. Every paraphernalia is there. But still we suffer. And every nose, eyes, ear, fingertips, everywhere bleeding. That's what happened to some people like me. Because we are not acclimatized with that situation. When it was too actually nailing cold, that's the word used. Because the cold will be in such a style, it looks like every body part is being nailed. That will be the feeling of chill. And I jumped in the Brahmaputra to take a river. Everybody was looking, who is this buffalo who doesn't have sense? I only realized after touching the water it is minus, too low than 0. But then my guru was actually in half dress and then he was holding hand like this and Shiva Shiva, Shiva Shiva, Shiva Shiva, Shiva Shiva. Everybody was looking at him, how this man topless standing with a small dhoti there. So I asked a question, how Shankaracharya went. Anima, Mahima, Chaiva, Lekima, Garima, Tada, Ishittum, Chavashittum, Prapti, Prakash, that's the answer. I have to decode it after a long time because if I don't ask that question, if I start asking explanation, I will miss the chance of asking next question because every moment is with the questions. So he enjoyed my questions, I enjoyed his answers. That's the relationship between a professional mentee-mentor. That's where the spiritually you are together, you will be able to answer. And you will be getting questions. You keep on getting questions. That's the temperament you should have. How do you get it? That is what makes you to grow from step to step to step to step to step. If I have not met, if I have not read Living with the Himalayan Masters book and I happen to meet that author's student, what will happen? It will be a big mistake. If I don't read the great book of Living with the Himalayan Masters before meeting the present Himalayan Master, that means I am not in that level where I can meet him. If I would have read that, then definitely I can go. So, you have to be professionally higher from one step, second step, third step, fourth step, fifth step. If you try to jump into the seventh step without going into the other steps, definitely you will fall down. Ashtanga Yoga is 8 steps. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. So if I have not gone into Yama, Niyama, Asana, Asana, everybody learns Asana. But without Yama, Niyama, if you do it, you are not doing anything good for your body also. Because inside is polluted, you are only showing that you can do monkey's job. Therefore, it is to be understood level by level. So mentor-mentee has, that is what is professionalism. How perfectly you reach into the steps in which it is prescribed for you. Okay, so in a company of people, how good you are. Yesterday somebody again was asking, I think is, who asked that question? Kept on, also have got the one email I got, and email talks about whether, I want my telephone number was asked by same person, Archana I think, yeah. Archana asked me, sent me an email asking some discussions, and again one more person. Okay, and same name was there in the chat box asking my telephone number also. But my telephone number I kept on saying. And if you want, I told you, if you know my number, search Dr. TPS, you will get my telephone number. You don't even have to. So assume that you are desperately, you go to YouTube and then search my number. Every video I have got my telephone number kept. My name also I changed. Just because I rejoined, I forgot putting my number there. My number is also there. So you have opportunity around. Why are you not able to see them? Because either you are lacking skill or you are lacking attitude. There is lot of swimming pool, but you don't have attitude of swimming. What will happen? You will not see the swimming pool at all. Assume that you are feeling hungry, you are walking on the road, definitely you will hunt for hotels, restaurant. And you will see, oh, this many restaurants were there. I was traveling on this road many times, but I didn't see those restaurants. Why? Because you are not feeling hungry. As simple as that. Understood? And now assume that you have swimming pool and you have the attitude for swimming, but you don't know swimming. What will happen? Swimming pool is useless, your attitude is useless. So what is most important in life is attaining skill. So when somebody comes to you with a problem, you must analyze, is it lack of skill? Is it lack of opportunity? Is it lack of attitude? Yesterday, my dear brother Iyer Saab was mentioning about a student. So that's why immediately I said, whether he has skill or not, has he proved that he is a good student? And he has an attitude. Is he lacking opportunity? I'll tell you, Swami Vivekananda says, if you have got a clear aim, what you want to do in your life, the whole universe will come and support you. That's really true. That's what happened most of the time. I was blessed to be part of Vivekananda Kendra in Kanyakumari and in Northeast, traveling across. From Southwest Kerala, I traveled to Northeast Kerala many times to give lectures. I've got large number of students. My program was called Prajodayat, Enlightenment. The 9th class children were enlightened to plan what they want in their life. I'll tell you, give me a 8th class student, that's good enough. Their background doesn't matter, because I proved myself I was not good in the childhood. I could become excellent learner. I am not saying an excellent person. I was an excellent learner in different subjects, because it's all the attitude and the trick in which you learn make you a good learner. And that trick is what the skill is. A stone cutter never hits the stone without looking at where to hit to break the stone. If you keep on hitting, it's waste of energy. If you know how to analyze it, where to hit, then 2 hits are good enough. So that's a trick of learning. You know how to learn. I'll tell you, nobody has to hold the cycle for you to learn cycling. Nobody has to teach you driving to learn driving. I remember when I came from a village, 7th class, I used to drive jeep. It's actually, officially it's wrong, it's illegal, but I did it because I am from a hilly top, ups and downs in my village. I am from the Western Ghats. Anybody who stops a jeep, generally they don't lock, because Kerala jeeps are not locked. It doesn't have a shutter. You don't have to switch on the jeep to drive. You change the gear to neutral, or you just press the clutch if you are not confident and take the clutch, the jeep will start moving. So either it is on the back slope, it goes backward, in the front it goes frontward. If any jeep is not there and it is either in the down or in the other part of the hill, they immediately will say, oh, Shashi Kumar must have gone this route, because what I do is I get into the jeep, learn driving. That's how I learned. But then when I came to Hyderabad, my cousin had a car and I didn't have a car. He said, we have a car. Do you know driving? I said, yeah, I know driving. Actually, I don't know driving at all. But then I drove the car from Maradapalli, where Ayya's relative is there. From there, I went to Safilguda, and that's only courage. And that's attitude. And that attitude you have, the passion you have, the skill will come to you. And after long years, I took my license actually. You need to have that courage. I'll tell you, when I went to Sriharikota to give a lecture, when I was in ISRO, the driver came with a Baleno. That was a beautiful new car, which I never drove. The car was there, and first time I am seeing a Baleno. When he was searching which auditorium is my program, he stopped the car, went and searched where I have to be taken. By the time he came, I got in the driver's seat, took 2 rounds and then kept the car there. He was asking, what did you do, sir? You are not supposed to drive this car. I said, it's first time. Any crime which comes, we will see later what will happen to me if I drive such car. No. When I go to Northeast, I see sometime I am here where I am staying because it's too late. We have to stay in this part of the Brahmaputra. The other side, I will see school where I have to give a lecture. It's only 20-kilometer distance. But you know, Brahmaputra bridges collapse any point of time and they don't have good bridges. You have to drive 160 kilometers to reach there if you want to get a bridge. So night I was looking at, I am from satellite imaging, so I know the geography perfectly well. So I told the driver, if you take this route, it's a shallow river, not too deep, and your car is very good. We can dive into the river and then cross the river and then try to do it. There's a small patch available there. He said, sir, it's very difficult. You should not do that. I said, let us do some drive here. Anyway, 160 kilometers is 6 hours. Don't think it's like a normal roads, because it's all very, very, very tough terrain. Anyway, we have to drive in those roads. Let us try this. It's a thrill. You can't do it anywhere else. There is no point in thinking about it after some time. So what you should do now, that opportunity you must use. Otherwise, you will have to take that philosophy to pacify yourself. Once you miss a bus, you get a lot of buses. That's only a philosophy. It is not very good philosophy in life, right? Once you miss a bus, every time it will be missed. It may be the last bus also. But take it, once you miss a bus, you miss lot of opportunities sometime. But it is nice to say once you miss a bus, you get lot of buses. Once you get into a bus, you miss lot of buses. Yeah. Right? Once you get married, you lost lot of chances. You can, that's why I said I give general principle, you can apply in your life the way you want to look at it. Okay. So what happens in life is that ability to look at. Don't have to ask, give me the number 3 times. Hunt, chase for that. And you have to just put the name Dr. TPS. Otherwise tomorrow just put 9447437948. You will get everything. And yesterday I asked one question, which is that movie? Somebody gave the answer for the Telugu movie, but I think Rupa is the person. Yeah, Rupa is around, alive. Rupa wanted to know which is that Malayalam movie wherein I gave that Mammuti's message, right? Which is that? Somebody got the movie name? Or you only remember your presence of mind, present is present, once it is over I should forget about it. But unfortunately I don't do that for some of the questions because I was re-listening to those. Anybody who knows that movie? Or you are not interested? You want to keep that movie question open? I will do that. If they are not unmuted, probably they cannot. I think all of you should have that unmute option so that you could unmute and then speak. Yeah? Anybody?
Swati Kiranam, sir.
No, that is Telugu movie which I said. You are still on that Swati Kiranam.
That Malayalam movie, we didn't get it, sir.
Yeah, too bad. You are not a fan of Mammootty. Yeah? That
No,
movie.
sir, I don't watch movies.
Yeah, then it is Tani Avartanam. Tani Avartanam is the movie where Tilakan is the role and Mukesh is there. Yeah, I think Mukesh is also there. Tani Avartanam is the movie. Yeah, it's a beautiful movie where a family has got a tradition of some problems and misinterpreting the actions what you do, because that family has got a history of being lunatic. All the male people were lunatic, and soon he falls into that sort of a doubt, and then Mammootty was also bannered that he is lunatic. That's a beautiful movie. But what I do is I don't watch movie, I don't see movie, I learn philosophies from movie, because it's nice to listen to some of the very great philosophies being depicted so beautifully. It imprints in you. That's why I'm a movie lover, right? That's a beautiful movie in which a teacher has to be like a person who flies kites. You must allow the parents also, you must allow them to fly as high as they can, but keep the thread so that you know when they are in danger you can pull them. That is what is mentoring. A professional mentor is one who knows this trick of mentoring, right? So we spoke about self-learning yesterday, like driving in different route for teaching mathematics, teaching chemistry, teaching physics. No, we must teach our students, children, how to learn by themselves. Innovative, creative, improvising at least. Improvisation is what is required. That makes you to have a Brahma inside you, so that Saraswati will be in your tongue. And do meditation in action, not closing your eyes and chanting mantras. That's actually waste of time. You have to be in action. That has to come from the self, but get to the co-workers, the professional. We have a Swadharma, then get into a professional dharma, then get into a Samuha dharma. That can be your caste, religion, anything. Then get into a bigger society, state, district, and international. Then you can say my professional possibility of growing from self-professional. There are a lot of people who are looking like so professional, but they are useless to the society. No, your job is serving others. I remember when I was standing in a queue for cancelling a train ticket, and that train is supposed to leave in half an hour, and the queue is so long I will not be able to Do it and then get into the train. The idea is when you don't get the chance inside the train, you can ask the ticket examiner to recommend for a reimbursement. Then you have to send the ticket or go with the ticket to the headquarters and then get a reimbursement which will be paid after a few months. But assume that half an hour within that you are able to cancel the ticket in the counter, and that one ticket reimbursement comes to you instantaneously. So the queue was too big. I will not be able to do that. I went inside. There is a chief ticket counter person. I asked him, will you be able to help me to do this? He said, no, I will not be able to help you doing it. You have to be in the queue. I said, that person who is sitting in the counter is able to do X. You must be able to do 3x. Otherwise, why are you paid extra salary? And you say that I cannot help you, only you have to be there and only that person can help you. If you cannot analyze the situation and help me, you are being paid unnecessarily, I said. I was a student at that time, not with the paraphernalia of a government employee. But then he said, get out. I just took his name and complaint, and he was behind me for 3 months to withdraw the complaint. I said, no. You will see the consequence. And I made him to lose his job. I remember I went to one of the schools where I asked that principal, which part of India you are from? And she was talking like Shah Rukh Khan in the movie, which says, don't ask this question, which state you are coming from, I am an Indian. It's nice to be in movie, but not anywhere. I had the patience of looking at her being a failed person in my life. I went there as a chief guest to give a talk, and she was mockerizing me, saying that I am the daughter of a soldier, so we know the value of India, and she started giving lecture. I was patiently listening, but she didn't understand I am from the combined defense services, much higher rank than what her husband could have been or her father could have been. After all that, she was calling vice principal, and she introduced that vice principal. You must be very happy that she is from Kerala, from your own native. Imagine, it is only few minutes back which I asked which state you are from. She was reluctant to say. Now she says that you must be very happy she is from Kerala. I said, how does it matter? And immediately in the class I was mentioning the same style, what happened, and the management were sitting there. By the end of the program, the management gave a termination letter to her in Muscat and asked her to get out of the country in next 24 hours. So I'll tell you, sometime you must be very careful. What happens if you don't understand the situations? If you don't understand that what the other person has to say, sometime you overjump. You understood what I'm saying? A mentor should have sufficient patience to listen to the other person. That is what is professionalism. Somebody yesterday, there are a lot of people who wrote, that was all correct. In the chat box, in the message I got, a mentor should have 2 years. Very, very essential. You will see the best mentor, Bhagavan Krishna, about whom I am going to give lectures from August 1st up to December, which is going to be a United Nations certification program. Probably first time Bhagavad Gita lecture being certified by the United Nations Yoga Community, which is starting this weekend, not next weekend. August 1st I am starting. In which the same mentorship, Arjuna's mentor was Krishna, no doubt about it. He was in full fatigue, he was not able to fight. He has the skill, he has the opportunity, but what was lost was attitude. Once attitude is lost, your lips will start drying, your hands will start shivering, your sweating will come. Gandivam was falling, he couldn't fight. Whatever weapon you have, whatever skill you have will not come out. Bhagavan Krishna listened, one chapter in Bhagavad Gita is only Arjuna Vishada Yogam. Only Arjuna's distress being explained by him and by the spectator, Sanjaya, in what situation he is. And then what happened? The mentor, Bhagavan Krishna, he started his second chapter with scolding only. The word used is hijada, Today it is not a good word to be used, but those days it was permitted. Neither a man or a woman. Hijada. And he says, Klaibyam Asmagama. Partha, it is actually, Partha, my friend, it is actually shameful for you. What a great word, no? Being distressed is a shame or what? Yeah, it's a shame for those people who have shown courage to fight in different places. Arjuna showed his courage to fight with the different places. It is not the first war he is fighting. It is not the first examination which I am writing. I am writing many exams. And if I fail, what will happen? What will happen? Nothing wrong if you fail. Again, you can write supplementary exam. I have lot of children, BTech students who comes to me at the third year says that, sir, I failed in 18 papers. How many papers are there? All the 18 I failed, sir. Yeah, no problem. I have seen at the fourth year people coming to me saying 24 papers they failed. So you are much better. You have one more year to make up something. Good time for you. I remember one of the medical college fellow where the person came to pick me up for a lecture. He had a big mustache. He was almost looking at my age. It was almost 15 years back. When he was driving with a lot of respect, I asked him, which department you are from, sir? Then he said, sir, don't call me sir. I am a student. I said, which year? I am in 10th year, sir. I said, 10th year? MBBS is only 5 years. Sir, I failed many years. Are you not ashamed of telling this? Sir, I am not at all ashamed because there are another 60% of the students who are all with me even today. You understood? This is the situation. When I went to one of the other medical colleges in Kerala, somebody telephoned and told me, sir, I want to commit suicide. I said, don't joke. At 11 o'clock midnight, that to a girl, soon after a lecture in the college, calls me at midnight, 11 o'clock, by mistake commit suicide. The last call is to Dr. TPS. What will happen? Tomorrow police will come and ask me explanations. I said, please beta, I did not do any harm to you other than giving a lecture yesterday, though it would have been troubled you a lot, but you should not commit suicide today. At least you talk to another 100 people like this and then commit suicide so that police will have much more job to do and I will not be the single culprit. Sir, you are joking. When I am telling I wanted to commit suicide, I said, first, nobody speaks to somebody else that I am going to commit suicide. If they really want to commit suicide, they will just do it. If somebody says they are going to commit suicide, they are looking for one ray of hope, one word from you, which will hold them not to do that. I asked which floor you are. She said 7th floor in the medical college. I said, don't jump from 7th floor because you are staying in a medical college. Immediately they will take you to ICU. And your parents will have to pay extra money for taking care of you and probably taking the dead body also. Because doctors are such a job, even after death they will give you bill. There is a beautiful joke on doctors. Vaidyaraja Namastubhyam. Salutation to the doctor who is the brother of Yamaraja Sahodara, Yama's brother. Yama Haradume Pranan. Yama will take only the prana, but doctors may give you bill also. Right? So you must be very careful jumping in a medical college. You could do it somewhere else. I will tell you the better method, but what is your problem? So she said, tomorrow I have exam, I am going to fail. If I fail, you know, in MBBS, unlike engineering, which KTU started implementing, I don't know how far it's successful. If you fail, you will have to continue the year once again. That's why you cannot get into pass from first year to third year just like that, failing all the subjects. Earlier, that was not the situation. They will have to continue. When you continue in medical college, you will have to pay huge amount of tuition fee. Though you are in merit seat, if you have to continue, it's a management seat equivalent to payment. It is could be 70 lakhs to 20 lakhs, depends on whether you are in India or Ukraine. Everywhere it is the same. So I told, your problem is you want to pass the exam, don't worry. Which is your examination? She said, I think it was told pharmacology. I said, don't worry, yeah, I'm an expert in pharmacology. Ask me any question. Okay, now what you do is, I will tell you one question, one answer. You go with this one question and then one answer, and other rooms where all students must be studying, right? Before the exam day. And you are in a hostel, wonderful place. Go to every place and say, this is a very important question. Do you know the answer? Ask them. And you teach them that answer. Then that person will give you one question and one answer. Catch that. So now you have 2 questions and 2 answers. Go to the next best student. Give one of the question and one of the answer. Get another question and answer. You go to 10-15 rooms. You got 15 questions and 15 answers which are most important, and they are the questions of tomorrow's exam. And she passed with 89% of marks. So I'll tell you, sometime it is not attitude setting, it is not skill setting, it is not opportunity. It is to tell them the trick of getting rid of one problem immediately in front of you. You need this trick. How do you get it? Yes, you need to have that experience. That is what is required. So what is required? Do you know when you go to a mechanical shop, assume that you are going to a mechanical shop to find your car with a small nagging problem to be repaired. If that mechanic is going to search for the tools, what will be your reaction? You will look at him, what an unorganized fellow, right? Have you seen in the mechanical shop they keep all the items in a row? Have you seen the kitchen cooking classes where they keep all the items ready and then start cooking? How many of you do this systematically in your life? There is a 5S principle. I remember when I went to Kuwait. Kuwait? No. I went to, I think, Doha or Kuwait. Somewhere I gave a beautiful lecture on how education people can use a factory principle which is applied in Japan, which is called the 5S principle, or maybe a Chinese principle which is really used in academics, how systematically you can grow. It's called the 5S in management science, which is called sustain, sort, set in order, shine, standardize and sustain. That is 5S. Every teacher has to be 5S. Then you are a very high professional. That's why we look at people, how good you are, how professional you are, how systematic you are in your life. And if you are not systematic in house, you are not systematic in engineering. I know that in humanities we learned about Sarva. Who is that? Mokshagundam Vishwesharaya. You can correct your watch by looking at when he is crossing your gate, because every day he crosses at the right time. He was one of the best engineers in India. He was the Diwan of Mysore Kingdom. Their beauty was they could have a relationship with Mysore Palace. Normal visitor was Sai Baba, Swami Bhuva, Vivekananda, and the SNDP was started by Dr. Palpu. He was also in Mysore Palace. I'll tell you, these are all great people who made revolutions and in this world. When you have such acquaintance, you will also become professional. And that is the ability each one of us should have. And that ability you can have, you can make someone a professional. Your qualities will look for that. And if you don't look for that, I'll tell you, when a student comes back to you with an assignment, where you said tomorrow 10 o'clock you have to put the assignments on my table. And when the student comes at 9:50, you say, afternoon you gave me. Finished. This is what happens in most of the academicians. If I am the student, I will throw on her face and then tell you, you are unfit to be a teacher. But when I was a student, I couldn't understand this. I'll tell you, when somebody gives an assignment, immediately they will ask, when is the last date? I'll tell them, don't submit. If somebody asks, not the last date, you are ready with the first date, you are a professional. In Department of Space, we have got flexible complementary system. Whoever runs faster gets promotions faster. You are exceptionally good, you can be senior to your juniors. That is the ability one should show. Don't ever give a last date to students. Only thing, if you submit today, you get 100 out of 100. If you submit afternoon, evening, and maybe 1 month later, you get 0, even if that is the best. That is how you measure the merit. Assume the day Dr. Sarjan told me that there is a program like this. Yeah, I create one, I will send if you want. Or if you ask me, send me a personal WhatsApp, I will send you a screen dump of my laptop. You will understand how systematically I will put my file structure which shows when, where I have my actions to be done, the pending actions. You look at my YouTube presentations, today's lecture will be posted as 21/07/29. 2021, 07 is July and 29 is the date. If I sort like that, computer will sort it perfectly well. If I do 29 July, then sorting will become a big problem. That's why every day, what happened 10 years back also I will post my Facebook. What happened 5 years back also I will post, because it's all in my sequence. Yesterday when somebody wanted, I gave my mentees lectures, what she spoke about me. I tag all of them under my YouTube with a very specific name so that I know this is what my mentees are talking about me. So do you have that ability to systematically keep things? How you make your timings very, very, very systematic. That is what is essential. So you have to be a professional. Ask your question yourself. Are you really professional? Do you have the ethics? Do you have service mentality? That's what I said, from self to the society. If you want to do yourself, you need not be systematic. But if you want to serve a larger society, you should have. I was blessed to be with the Prime Minister's office. We know how systematically the Prime Minister works. Right? Because he has got a lot of people around. I'm sure when you grow higher and higher, you get a lot of people who support you in that. That shows your quality. So attitude, it could be appearance, it could be competency, experience. But I will tell you sometime, I remember when I am supposed to go to Prime Minister every month we used to have dinner with the Prime Minister. And those days it was Manmohan Singh. But Manmohan Singh was a very casual minister. But when I go, there is a very specific rule. If you keep a bow, it shows that you are hosting. If you keep a tie, that means you are a guest. There are all different rules. So I was supposed to have a tie with no stripes. I have to have a white shirt and the black shoes and black pants and insert. There is a coat has to be black. It's like a black cat sort of a thing, which we are supposed to go when dinner. But I was very reluctant. The last moment my director told, I am not able to attend today. Instead of that, you as deputy director should represent. Somebody has to be there in the office to attend. I said, I don't have my attire for that. So what should I do? He said, put the coat and then put it so tight they don't see your shirt color. But then I am a scientist who was deputed into cabinet secretariat. I am not an IPS, I am not an IAS. I am not used to this sort of very big structure. I always like a jubba. But though that day I had a sleeve in because I had another meeting. But then I went there, I gave the coat. I had a coat, but that was given to my driver and told him, in case if I call you, you must come and serve it. We are not supposed to take a camera, no pictures, nothing. So I went there without a coat. All other people were in coat except Prime Minister. And Prime Minister was looking at this fellow who was not in coat. He thought this is another VVIP. He came to me and started holding my hand. So you can see Manmohan Singh holding my hand, not I am holding his hand. And we had a dialogue of 20 minutes. So I'll tell you, how do you speak to a Prime Minister for 20 minutes casually on a dinner? You should have sufficient stuff in you. So I'll tell you, if you don't have, you cannot ask him, sir, what's your name? You cannot ask such questions. So when you meet S. Janaki, I met S. Janaki in travel. I met Tilagan in travel. I had lunch with Yeshudas. I had stayed with Rasul Pukutti, Sanjay Dutt, Major Ravi, Amitabh Bachchan. What do you discuss with them? Assume you don't have sufficient stuff. You will be a buffoon in front of them. So I'll tell you, equip yourself. That's most important. That's why I said a billionaire should always aspire to be a millionaire. Then you know everything about them. Learn about their professionalism. Persist the objectives which you have. Get that confidence in you with the skill which you attain. And that knowledge is what is essential for you. Then your children will look upon you, oh, this is a great man. That qualities should come in your appearance, not in your attire. It should be in your face. That should be in your words. That should be not Keyuranina bhushayanti purusham harana chandrujjalam nasnanam nakusumam navilepanam etc. etc. Vak bhushanam bhushanam. Most important is the word what you speak than the appearance. Both are important. Cleanliness, grooming, posture. But most of the time, the body language, dress, everything is what is taught is called soft skill. Actually, that is not correct. It is most important to have a pleasant face. If you don't have that pleasant face, even a person will not come to you. I'll tell you, if you attend a marriage where 3,000 people attended, you will only remember those people who smiled and then came to you to speak. Not that very gracious, great dress with a lot of ornaments. Keyuranina bhushayanti purusham. Harana chandrojjalam. Na haram, na chandrojjalam. Na snanam, na kusumam, na vilepanam. What spray used is unimportant. How do you smell is unimportant. The words are more important. That is to be cleaned. I thought I will speak up to 11:30. I crossed 1 more minute. Sorry for that small hitch up in the middle, but we will open it up for questions as long as you want. I know that I can go on and on. You also know that I can go on and on. But I think we should take up questions. That is professionalism. I think you understood what is professionalism. For an engineer, professionalism is he must be able to write. Yesterday you have seen 2 speakers. They wrote ER, engineer. You can be a BTech. That is tucking in is good. No, that tucking in will not make you a BTech. Professional is, will you be able to write engineer? Yes, I can write engineer, though I am not a BTech, I am not an MTech. Because government gave me a designation engineer. Bar scientist, that's our ID card. Government recognized us as engineer. Because every ISRO scientist is also an engineer. We are asked to open up missions. We are asked to take screwdriver. I remember when I was heading the photo lab, we had a maintenance contract, but the contractor was not doing good. I said, I want one instrumentation engineer, rest I will do. I can read the manual and then know how to repair it. But I need somebody who can go under the equipment. The equipments are too huge and heavy. So sometimes we'll have to go under that and then repair, which I don't want to do myself. So I got one assistant and then I started repairing. And we were called to Delhi in the defense departments to repair the machines. I was sent to Australia to learn how to maintain and how to repair a scanner. Probably only MSc mathematics or PhD mathematics who learned electronics maintenance under Government of India. That because you prove that you can do it. That's it. I keep asking challenging children, BTech engineering, computer science. I will give you a laptop. Open it. Anyway, we have a lot of old laptops at home. Open it. And if you see if you can screw it up back in the same style without bulging, if you can pack it up, you can be called as an engineer. Give that as a program in your colleges if you are from engineering college. Okay, good enough. You will see electrical engineer coming to my house. I used to give screwdriver and ask them open the switch box. Sir, we never did it. You are an electrical engineer, yeah? You open it. Sir, everything will burn. No problem. I know how to repair it. But still they are not courage enough. So what I do is I will remove everything and then ask them, this is how you should do it. Teach them all that. But they go back to their apartment and do it. The whole thing, power goes off. Everything is burnt. They come back tomorrow, sir, everything is lost. I said, that's how you learn. You should have that courage to do it. Okay. So that's being professional. Not doing mistake. But don't do the same mistake. You do a bigger mistake tomorrow. Start from smaller mistake to bigger mistake. That's professionalism. Somebody could unmute to ask questions, or maybe yesterday I missed looking at the chat box instantaneously, so I missed giving my number when somebody was constantly asking, but I said those who are looking at it, you could. And I'm missing Bhavana today. She was reading. Yeah,
Yes,
Bhavana, show your face, beta. If you show your face, I know, I have to stop talking. That's you are ringing the bell.
Yes,